Welcome to the Seth Thibodeaux Show, featuring the head coach of Nicholls State University Baseball, Seth Thibodeaux. Today's program is presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional, dedicated to patient-centered excellence. The Seth Thibodeaux Show is also sponsored by Rouse's Supermarkets. You're either local or you're not. And by People's Health, your Medicare health team. Hello and welcome to the Seth Thibodeaux Show, presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional. I'm Mike Wagenheim, alongside the head coach of the Colonels, Seth Thibodeaux. And Coach, we learned that the only thing tougher than getting on top is staying on top.
That's right, it is. It's a very high mountain to climb, so you got to make sure you stay even keel and understand the process and respect the process. So it sure is fun to be fighting for it, though.
The Colonels began last weekend on top, sole possession, in fact, of first place in the Southland Conference. You take on Northwestern State. The Demons were right on your tail. They began the series just a game out, and this was just an entertaining, really terrific Southland Conference series that showed the best of both teams.
No question. We got everything we wanted from them, and they got everything they wanted from us. And, you know, typical coach speak, I'd like to have a few of those moments back because I feel like we maybe could have had an opportunity to do bigger things than what we did. But it's part of the process of competing in this conference, and boy, it was a heck of a weekend for both teams.
What did you expect going in?
Well, I expected there to be a couple of games that were going to be nip-tuck, and I expected their team to be very disciplined. I expected them to play extremely hard, and they were very well coached because I know their staff very well. But I did expect us to go in with an opportunity to win the series, and we certainly had those chances. We just didn't capitalize, and it's certainly something that we can learn from moving forward, and something that we can learn from right away. And I'm looking forward to that. But my expectations were very high, just as they always are for our team.
This did not lack for entertainment value. Let's take you out to Brown Stroud Field in Natchitoches. In batting practice, Colonel third baseman Tyler Duplantis took a line drive off the head. He had a huge bruise on his forehead, but he was trying to do everything he could to convince the athletic trainer, Kyle Wilson, to let him play. That included an impromptu juggling act to show his hand-eye coordination was okay. He tried, but he couldn't play. It was a precautionary measure, had to keep him out of the ball game, but Tyler wanted in there so bad, just proving what a gamer he really is. Nicholls would jump on starter Josh Aller for a pair of runs in the first inning on Friday. First to Keith Cormier's sac fly, then Charles Morton notches a base hit, driving in Leo Vargas. Aller would settle in after that and pitch effectively over the next 4 innings. Northwestern State would even things up in the second after a ground-out RBI by Garrett Logan. Edwin Gomez wraps a base knock the other way. Cormier's throw not in time as Reagan Kaufman comes around. This thing is tied at 2. Bird would go 6 innings. Other than that one frame, he was all right. There was some terrific defense throughout this series. Bottom third, Chase Dodrill batting for the Demons, deep drive to center field, and Darius Knight runs it down at the wall. Tough play there. And then in the fourth, Taylor Bird pulls a Houdiniac, bases loaded, no outs, a real jam. Logan with a hard grounder. David Zorn with a diving stop. He starts up the 3-2-3 double play. Bird induces a pop-up after that and gets out of there unscathed. Top of the seventh, Joey Parrick on the hill. Zorn led off with a double, and with 2 outs, Phillip Lyons dumps it into left, giving the Colonels a 3-2 advantage. But the normally reliable John Satriano got himself into trouble after the stretch. Bases jammed, 1 out. Dodrill with a short fly into center. Knight wasn't willing to chance a dive. Gomez scores from third. We're knotted up at 3. They almost got Caleb Dugas on the force out. Then some shaky defense comes back to bite the dirty red. 2 outs. Looks like Nicholls will escape, but Reagan Kaufman's bouncer to short, thrown away by Leo Vargas. 2-run score. Demons up 5-3. The Colonels would commit 4 errors in this one. But a gritty rally from Nicholls in the ninth. After a Christian Correa ground-out scores Brandon Jackson, it's Lyons again, down to his final strike against righty Steven Spann. His 3rd hit of the game. Pinch runner Justin Holt going on contact, scores all the way from first. The Colonels tie it up at 5. So we're going to extras. Bottom 10, Mark Picciola on the hill. The inning started with an error, and Caleb Dugas makes the Colonels pay. That one had eyes. Base hit. Here comes C.J. Webster, and Northwestern State takes game 1 by a final score of 6-5. Credit the Colonels with the rally in the 9th inning, down to the final out, and then down to the final strike. Made things happen, just couldn't overcome the defense.
Well, you got to pitch and play defense to win championships, and in critical moments, we go into the 7th or 8th inning with no errors, and after 10 innings of play, we have 4 errors. That's not the way we need to finish a baseball game right there. That's not something that we do very often. So, but we have to learn from that and move forward. But, man, it was a great job of taking the lead early on the road in conference, and it was a great job of tying that thing up by who else than Phillip Lyons, who came up with a huge hit for us there at the end. But gritty is right, but we have to be gritty all the time. We can't just do it in certain moments, and when we are gritty all the time, we have a chance to be pretty good.
Taylor Bird has kind of slipped off pace the last couple of weeks, and look, the expectations are high based on what he's done over the last few months or so. You figure 6 innings, 2 earned runs, not bad, but it's not Bird good.
No.
What does Taylor need to do to get back to his dominant self?
He needs to make sure that he is not putting himself in situations to be unsuccessful, and he's putting a little pressure on himself by maybe a walk or a hit batsman, and he hasn't done that in his first 5 starts, and then all of a sudden 2 or 3 weeks in a row, he's getting a little erratic in the zone, but he certainly finds a way to settle in. And I felt like after his first 3 or 4 innings of work, he really settled in, and I feel like his last couple of innings of work, he really found it, and that's exciting because we saw it there. But he put himself in a pitch count situation the first 3 or 4 innings. So, but I feel like we've got him back, after watching that last couple of innings, and I'm looking forward to getting him back out there again.
Now, bad weather expected to roll into Natchitoches on Sunday, so Nichols would play a Saturday doubleheader for the 4th straight weekend. Back to Brown Stroud Field. Grant Bourne on the bump for Nichols. He was solid. Gets Joe Atkinson fishing in the 3rd. Bourne would fan 3, walking 4, while allowing just 3 hits. Nichols facing righty Josh Aller, the older brother of Friday starter Adam Aller. The Colonels strand Tyler Duplantis on 3rd base in the 4th as Aller gets Christian Correa to ground out to shortstop. We're still scoreless. This one evolved into a tremendous pitcher's duel. Into the home half of the 4th, Bourne gets around the leadoff walk, inducing Nathan Lyons into a 4-6-3 double play. Nichols among the national leaders in twin killings turn. Best shot for the Colonels comes in the 9th, 1st and 2nd with no one out, but Aller fans Vargas before Cormier hits into a double play as well. Aller's longest outing of the year by far. Colonels trying to force extras again, but a leadoff walk is costly this time, as for the 2nd straight game, Caleb Dugas delivers the winning hit, plating Nick Heath. A 1-0 Demon victory as Nichols suffers their first Southland loss of the year and endures their 4th consecutive defeat overall. First time that's happened this season. Unreal. Same guy, back-to-back
Sure
nights.
It was, and I felt like we had a chance with a killer instinct there. That game's over. In the top half of that inning right there with runners at 1st and 3rd, and we let them off the hook. And that's not something that I want our team to get accustomed to. I want them to understand we got 1st and 3rd, nobody out with a couple of seniors back-to-back. That game is over in our favor, and it has to happen. It has to happen to win championships, and we allowed it to slip away from us, and we allowed them to beat us. And that was the frustrating part, and that's what I told our team after the game. They didn't do anything to beat us. We allowed that to happen, and we've got to make sure if we're going to make a run at a title that we can't never allow those things to happen to us. And so, but you saw a different team come out again in Game 3. But again, I'd like to have that inning back because I feel like we should be up 2 or 3-0 right there in that situation. And so the next time that situation does arise, we've got to capitalize.
This week, and it was a long week. It started with a home loss to Southern, a team that you feel certainly you should have beaten.
100%
and it seemed like it just kind of carried over.
Yep.
What was the point for you after that first game against Northwestern State on Saturday? What did you tell your team about just stopping this slide?
It's time to get off the mat and dust off and punch back and not just allow things to happen like I just talked about. You have to grab the bull by the horns and take control of the situation. That's what leaders do. That's what great ball players do. That's what great teams do. Everyone's going to go through a slide in their season. It's going to happen. It's part of the game. It's part of the grind of a season. But the championship club grabs it and punches it right back and gets it done and doesn't allow it to happen. And so that's where our team was at going into Game 3 of the series.
Coach Thibodaux told his team before the series finale on Saturday that championship teams don't get swept, period. Top of the 4th, let's take you back. After 2 hits and a sacrifice against lefty Austin Tanner, Duplantis' ground ball booted by Atkinson. Cormier scores and Nichols is up 1-0. The only error of the day for the Demons. David Zorn comes up next, and with Duplantis in motion, it takes away the chance at a double play. They get Zorn as Gomez reverses course at second, but Justin Smith scores, and the Colonels grab a 2-0 advantage. Tanner was done after 4 frames. That's all he gave up. Into the home half of the fourth, after Chase Dodrill grounds in Atkinson to cut the lead in half, Brett Underwood goes the other way against Brandon Jackson. It scores Colt Brinson. Jackson backing up the play, cuts down Underwood at second, but the damage is done. The game tied at 2. Jackson lasted 8 innings, allowing just 1 earned run. Nichols holding Dugas in check in this one. He goes 0 for 5, thanks in part to this big league play by Leo Vargas, who puts Friday's frustrations behind him. Just an outstanding defensive play. That would be a theme. In the 7th, C.J. Webster's fly ball is tailing toward the line, but Keith Cormier flags it down with a diving catch. Nichols determined to leave Natchitoches with a win. So we go to extra innings for the second time. In the 11th, 2 on with 1 out, but Mark Picciola gets Brett Underwood to hit into the 4-6-3. Picciola and Mark Frazier before him were solid out of the pen. In the 12th, here we go. 2 outs and a hit batter load the bases with 1 gone for Cormier, and the base hit to center off of Andrew Adams. Christian Correa scores. Phillip Lyons right behind him. After an 0 for 8 start to the series, Cormier picks up 4 hits in the finale. Nichols leads it 5-3. Picciola would come back out to shut the door in the home half of the 12th, a 1-2-3 frame. Webster bounds out to third to end it. Just a terrific, entertaining series. 3 games decided by a total of 4 runs. Even with the series loss, Nichols is still tied with the Demons for second place in the Southland, just a game behind McNeese State. Coach, you needed that one. You went out and took it.
They took it, and we had the big hit and the big blow by a couple of leaders that we'd like to have had in that other game. And they learned their lesson. And they had their opportunity, and they won it right there. And what I would like to see us do, though, is take care of the baseball. And maybe we could have thrown a 2-0 complete game shutout right there. I talked to Brandon about that. We walked a guy to lead off an inning, that 2 spot, and then we allowed him to get to third off of an errant pick throw, which wasn't part of the plan right there. So maybe if we turn that back and we don't walk that guy and we don't make that error, maybe we win that game 2-0 and at their place. So that's the little things we're going to work through and get through, but we need to learn to make it easy on ourselves and not have to grind through it so much and put so much pressure on ourselves. But it almost feels like every time we step on the field, there's going to be some excitement in some way, shape, or form at the end of a game. But I'd like to see some separation for sure.
Almost 1 out of every 5 games you've played this year has gone into extra innings.
That's incredible, isn't it?
Unbelievable. Southland standings, McNeese is on top. Nichols and Northwestern State a game behind. 4 of the Colonels' final 6 series come against teams in the top 8, including McNeese, Southeastern Louisiana, Stephen F. Austin, and Central Arkansas. You'll get the Bears of UCA here this weekend.
Yeah, this will be a great weekend for us. We're at home. It's good to be back home. It's time to correct our miscues. It's time to take care of business like we talked about in our team meeting yesterday and really hone in on our goals and what we're trying to accomplish here. And everything is right there in front of us. Now is the time to really go get it. And so we're excited about a great opponent coming in this weekend, and a team that was in a regional last year, an exciting team to play. They're at our house, and we're excited about that, and we're ready to play some good baseball.
All right, Coach, we're going to take a quick time out here on the Seth Thibodeaux Show, presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional. Much more coming up on the other side.
You may know Thibodaux Regional was the first hospital in the region to take a leadership role in athletic safety. But did you know they're the only hospital in the region to offer advanced concussion testing technology? That their certified athletic trainers assist high schools with team event coverage, and that they provide prevention education to coaches, athletes, and parents? TJ Boudreau knows they're here for athletes of all ages. Parents, coaches, and athletes know Thibodaux Regional Medical Center for expert, compassionate care.
Donnie, I'm in Rouse's at least 3 times a week, and I want the best prices every day.
Come on, Chef. Let's go shopping.
All right. There's got to be at least 1,000 items just on this one aisle.
At Rouse's, we stock more groceries than anyone else.
I can see that. So what's with the tag? Best price every day.
It's the Rouse's guarantee. You're getting our lowest price every day.
So when I see this tag,
you know you don't have to wait for a sale.
I can shop any day
and get our best price every day. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not.
Well, we're all about the people that we care for. Every day we find a way to make your life better. That's what we're here for. Yeah, we're all about the people. We help you take that's what we do. We're here for you with people's health.
Welcome back to the Seth Thibodeaux Show, presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional. Back here with the head coach of the Colonels, Seth Thibodeaux. Going to take on UCA this weekend, and conference play continuing along right now. We looked at the standings earlier, and just it's been a weird year in the conference thus far. Teams are at the top that nobody expected to be. Teams are at the bottom that many people didn't anticipate.
Yeah, it has. It's been an odd week, a start to the year, too, because of so many double headers and weather patterns. It's just been a strange start. But we do like where we're at, and we feel like we're, we could be a little better than where we're at too. So that's a good feeling to have. We like the situation we're in, but we also know that it's time to take care of some business. And so, but we enjoy the way it started, and certainly to see all the Louisiana schools at the top half is exciting. But it has been a different start, but we're excited about what we can accomplish this year.
I know one of your goals going into every year, win Louisiana. It's not an official title, but win Louisiana, you're usually in good shape.
Absolutely, and we have a couple of them left on the schedule, so we're looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Well, one of the biggest questions about the Colonels this year wasn't who was going to be on the field, but in the dugout. 3 coaching vacancies had to be filled, and it looks like Seth Thibodeaux, he's made the right combination. Tiffany Williams has more.
The Colonel baseball team season is off to a great start due to not only the leadership of head coach Seth Thibodeaux and his associate head coach Chris Prothro, but also to the hard work of his 3 new assistants. Although Blaze Lambert, Zach Butler, and Austin Flores are new to the staff, their expertise in the game of baseball have brought the team to new heights over the last few months. With each assistant having collegiate baseball experience, they know just what needs to be done to lead the Colonels to a winning season. Each assistant has their own specific role that ties in directly with helping Thibodaux and Prothro lead the team. Lambert, a native of Fort Worth, Texas, serves as the team's second assistant, in which he helps with the offense and recruiting efforts. Lambert's role in recruiting allows there to be more eyes on the road while the Colonels search for fresh talent.
The more players you can see, the better it's going to help as far as recruiting efforts and helping getting other players into this program.
Student assistant Austin Flores, a native of Fort Myers, Florida, first came to Nichols as a player and now is learning the ins and outs of being a part of the coaching staff. So far, Flores discovered game management from a coach's perspective.
I played here, so I understand how things work, but now it's being on the other side of coaching. There's a lot more that goes into it that you think. Sometimes as a player, you just kind of see the situation, but I've learned that as a coaching, you got to be a step ahead, or think innings ahead as far as matchups and different situations that may come up in the game. So you always got to be prepared.
While Flores' first obligation is completing his master's degree, he strives to learn as much as possible under the leadership of both Thibodaux and Prothro. Volunteer assistant and camp coordinator Zach Butler of Sugar Land, Texas, helps the team's pitching along with coordinating the summer baseball programs at the university. Throughout the last few months as an assistant at Nichols, Butler has seen great improvements among the Colonels and is looking to play his part in catapulting the team into uncharted territory.
I would like to see, multiple championships here, just really trying to change the culture in this area and turn Nichols and put Nichols back on the map.
Each assistant believes communication is key in having a successful season, and they work together in order to make their head coaches' jobs as smooth as possible.
Basically, we just try to make sure, because we also work on the field and stuff, so we try to make sure that it looks as neat as possible, and Coach Flores and Coach Lambert do a really, really good job with that, and they help me out with that, and basically it just helps us make sure everything's prepared for practice and prepared for games, and it takes a load off of Coach Thibodaux and Coach Prothro.
Everyone has a job and their own role, but at the same time, we all must work together for it to work and for our team to be successful. So it's tough to just point out one or two things because we all have to be on the same page, but as long as we are communicating with each other and we know what we're trying to accomplish, everything works well.
We all 3 communicate just about anything and everything, and that's the biggest way that we do. And I think it's been a good relationship so far, even in the first 7 or 8 months.
While each of the assistants have only been with the Colonels for a short period, they see much potential in their players and are here for them every step of the way. For the Seth Thibodeaux Show, I'm Tiffany Williams.
Thank you very much, Tiffany. Folks, we have complete coverage of Nichols baseball on the Colonel Sports Radio Network, presented by your local Super Chevy dealers. The Colonels host South Alabama on Wednesday at 6 o'clock. Listen to it live on KNSU 91.5 FM. KNSU will also carry Friday night Southland Conference Series opener against UCA Friday at 6. Game 2 of that set with the Bears Saturday at 6. And the series finale against Central Arkansas airs Sunday at 1 over on KTIB 640 a.m. Coach, what do you think about your new coaches?
I really enjoy working with a group of guys that are as loyal as they are. That's the best way to put it. Very, very professional group, very loyal group, very organized group. It's a lot of fun.
I know the second they come to you, they're going to get organized.
Absolutely, and you know what else is neat is we don't have our new strength coach in there, but we had hired Greg Carasquillo last summer, and boy, he's been a huge difference in our organization as well. And just the whole package, I feel like we made the right hire for sure.
All right, folks, we're going to take a quick time out. We'll have more news coming up on Nichols Athletics. Alice Tullis will take us around the department when we return here on the Seth Thibodeaux Show, presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional.
While the Colonel tennis and softball teams were strictly business this week, things were a little lighter for the soccer team as they played some unserious competition for a great cause.
The Nichols men's tennis team secured their third consecutive appearance in the Southland Conference tournament on Friday, defeating Lamar's 7-Love in Beaumont. On Saturday, the Colonels traveled to Abilene Christian, where they suffered their first league loss of the season, falling to the Wildcats 4-3. They close out conference play this weekend with a chance at claiming the regular season title.
For us to win, we just got to stick to our game plan, stick to our strengths, stick to what we're good at, which is being aggressive, strong, aggressive tennis without fighting for every point, never giving up, and just believing. It's all about the belief.
The women's tennis team also visited ACU on Saturday, falling 5-2. It was their second straight loss after a run on 8 wins in 9 matches. They have a string of 5 Southland contests in 8 days starting on Saturday. The Nichols softball team was set to host a 3-game series against Texas A&M Corpus Christi. On Sunday, the Colonels split a doubleheader, dropping their first game 2-1 in 9 innings. The second contest was also sent into extra innings, where Danielle Phillips hit an RBI single in the bottom of the 9th to give the Colonels a 6-5 win. However, Monday's game was canceled due to inclement weather, leaving the set tied and placing the Colonels at a low conference standing, 11th out of 12 teams. But with 12 conference games remaining, the Colonels sit just 2 games out of the 6th and final spot in the Southland tournament. On Tuesday, the university's faculty and staff took on the women's soccer team in what's become an annual tradition. This year, the event took on an added meaning as it turned into a benefit for the Ryan Jeffress Memorial Scholarship Fund, named in honor of the late son of Nichols speech professor Michael Jeffress. As part of the Nichols Presidential Inauguration Week festivities, incoming President Dr. Bruce Murphy and his wife Jean served as honorary coaches. Although they lost this fun-filled classic yet again, the faculty and staff enjoyed the friendly competition.
It's great for us to, as faculty and staff members, come out, get a little exercise, get to interact with students outside of class in a little bit different environment. And it's also impressive to see, exactly how much skill the varsity players have. It's pretty impressive and a bit disheartening if you're not on their team.
While the traditional spring sports continue on, the soccer program is slated to host clinics and public tournaments throughout the upcoming weeks, while the volleyball team preps for 2014 with a competition this week. And of course, the football team is in the midst of spring practice with their opener at Air Force less than 5 months away. For the Seth Thibodeaux Show, I'm Alex Pellis.
Thank you very much, Alex. Folks, it's time to announce our Rouse's Student Athlete of the Week. You're either local or you're not. Louisiana's Best can be found at your local Rouse's or at rouses.com. This week, it's Nico Mertens from the men's tennis team. The sophomore from Hilden, Germany, picked up a pair of wins at number 2 singles while teaming with Evan Karatzis for 2 convincing victories at number 3 doubles. Here's what's on tap for Nichols Athletics this weekend. The men's tennis team hosting Texas A&M Corpus Christi at noon on Friday. Busy day Saturday. It's our football spring game in the morning. Track and field will have one squad competing at McNeese and another at Ole Miss. The volleyball team in spring action at UL Lafayette. Women's tennis hosting Northwestern State, and the softball team taking on Southeastern in a doubleheader here in Thibodaux. Sunday, the Colonels and Lions conclude that Southland softball set, while women's tennis takes on Stephen F. Austin. Men's tennis at South Alabama on Sunday night. We'll be back with more of the Seth Thibodeaux Show presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional in just a moment.
You may know Thibodaux Regional was the first hospital in the region to take a leadership role in athletic safety, and they responded by developing a comprehensive sports medicine program. But did you know their certified athletic trainers assist high schools with team event coverage, and that they are the region's only hospital with sports medicine fellowship-trained physicians? TJ Boudreau knows they're here for athletes of all ages. Parents, coaches, and athletes know Thibodaux Regional Medical Center for expert, compassionate care.
Donnie, I'm in Rouse's at least 3 times a week, and I want the best prices every day.
Come on, Chef. Let's go shopping.
All right. There's got to be at least 1,000 items just on this one aisle.
At Rouse's, we stock more groceries than anyone else.
I can see that. So what's with the tag? Best price every day.
It's the Rouse's guarantee. You're getting our lowest price every day.
So when I see this tag,
you know you don't have to wait for a sale.
I can shop any day
and get our best price every day. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not.
Well, we're all about the people that we care for. Every day we find a way to make your life better. That's what we're here for. Yeah, we're all about the people. We help you take care of yourself. That's what we do. We're here for you with people's health.
I'm Mike Wagenheim. This is the head coach of the Colonels, Seth Thibodeaux. Coach, best of luck against Central Arkansas this weekend. We'll talk to you again next week.
Thanks, Mike.
All right, see you then, folks. Today's show has been presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional, dedicated to patient-centered excellence. This program has also been sponsored by Rouse's Supermarkets. You're either local or you're not. And People's Health, your Medicare health team. This has been a presentation of the Colonel Sports Network.